Let's make dinner in just 25 minutes. Today, I'm going to show you how to make the easiest sweet and sour meatballs. Hi friends, my name is Christina. I'm with eatingonadime.com. If you are new to our channel, my sister Carrie and I are on a mission to teach real families how to eat real food at home, especially on a budget. And we love, love, love quick and easy meals. So today I'm going to show you how to make the easiest and most delicious sweet and sour meatballs in just 25 minutes. Now, I am cheating and using pre-made meatballs. I love the turkey frozen meatballs, and that's what I'll be using in today's recipe. Now, if you want, you can use homemade meatballs. That's completely fine. If you choose to do that, use about 25 meatballs for today's recipe, and that'll work great. Okay, before we get started, I have linked this full recipe in the description below. It has all of our tips, tricks, nutritional information, and all the things, so make sure you check it out. As well as linked in the description is all of the utensils that I'll be using in today's video. We get questions asked all the time, so if you want to know where I got something, make sure you check out the description first. All right, we're going to head over to the stovetop because most of this is made on the stovetop today, and we are going to get these meatballs cooking. So for this recipe, you're going to need a large, deep skillet. I'm using like a Teflon pan that I've had literally forever. It's still going strong. That works great. Don't turn the skillet on quite yet. We're going to add in 1/2 cup of brown sugar. I like to just whisk all these ingredients together in the pan so I don't dirty up another dish. 1/2 cup of rice vinegar. There's our sweet. This is our sour. And then 1/4 cup of ketchup. We're going to create the sauce first in the pan before we start cooking it. 1/3 cup of water. 1/4 cup soy sauce. And then 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I am using pre-minced garlic from a jar. If you can mince your own if you would like. If you do that, just do about 2 cloves minced and that'll work great. And last but not least, we're going to use the juice from an 8-ounce jar of diced pineapple. We just want the juice only right now. We are going to add the pineapple back in later, so make sure you save it. I just use the top to kind of hold it in to keep the pineapple from falling in, but go ahead and dump all of the juice into the pan. Whisk to combine all these ingredients. I'm using a silicone whisk just so I don't scratch the bottom of my pan. It works great. If you have a stainless steel pan or cast iron, you can just use a regular whisk and it'll work fine as well. You just really want to get that brown sugar dissolved if possible so you don't have clumps of it in your sauce. Okay, once it's combined, we're going to bring this mixture to a boil. So turn the heat on to high and we're going to let it boil here. Okay, it didn't take long to come to a boil, so watch it closely. Then once it's boiling, dump in those meatballs. If you're using the pre-packaged, you want about 24 to 28 ounces or 25 if using homemade. We just want to stir to kind of get that sauce onto the meatballs if possible to give it nice flavor. Perfect. And then cover them. Reduce the heat to medium high, and we're going to let this cook for about 5 to 6 minutes until those meatballs are heated through. So while those meatballs are cooking, let's go ahead and get the bell peppers ready. So classic sweet and sour meatballs have bell peppers and pineapples in them. Today I'm going to use 1 red bell pepper and 1 yellow. These are my favorite of the colors, honestly. They add a little bit of sweetness to it. The green will work as well. It's just not one of my favorites. So when we cut this, we want them into larger pieces. So what I like to do is just cut the fat parts off so you don't get the stems, and then we're going to dice them down, not dice them, but cut them into smaller pieces from there. I think cutting those pieces in half and then those into thirds will actually be perfect. You want it to be a good size to stir in with the meatballs, and they're going to get cooked just a little tender and perfect. So around that is great. Okay, we're going to cut all the skin off of the peppers. Sorry guys, I know I've seen a couple comments that I like to say everything's diced. So sorry, these aren't diced, these are just cut into smaller pieces. I love you. All right, now If your kids are sensitive to peppers, here's my tip on that. Just cut them bigger so they can pick them out and eat around them, because you're probably going to want the peppers. I want the peppers because it adds a lot of flavor. So you can always cut them bigger and then they can serve it without theirs on theirs. My kids are always picking stuff out of their food and they're teenagers, so it's going to happen. All right, so the red pepper's done. Let's get this yellow pepper ready to go. I just wanted to show you up close in case you've never cut a bell pepper. I just cut the outsides off just so it stays away from the seeds and it works great. And then I try to cut it like at an angle to get that membrane off as well. And then if any is bothering, you can always slice it off from there. To me, that's the easiest way to do it, and it works great because then you just have all these seeds that you can throw away and not have to deal with. So the skin's cut off, and then just cut these down into smaller sizes and they're ready to go. Okay, before we go back over to the stovetop, I'm going to go ahead and get my cornstarch slurry ready as well. A cornstarch slurry is cornstarch dissolved in cold water that is used as a thickening agent for food, especially in Asian foods. It does a great job of thickening foods without altering the flavor, and it thickens it real quick. So we want to start with 3 tablespoons cold water. I'm just putting it in my Pyrex measuring cup, but you can put it in a small mixing bowl. And then 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. I spilled a little, but you know, it happens. Then just whisk or use a fork. Uh-oh, the meatballs are done. To stir that cornstarch into the water until it's fully dissolved. So we're just gonna have this ready so we can mix it into the meatball and thicken that sauce. Okay, let's get back there and check on our meatballs. The meatballs are looking good. First, we are gonna add the bell peppers to the pan and let those cook first. Go ahead and stir them in, and we're gonna cover and cook these for just a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, until those peppers start to get tender. We are gonna cover it during this time. After this time, remove the lid. Now we're gonna stir in that cornstarch slurry we just made, and we're gonna add in the can of pineapple chunks. Stir to combine all these ingredients. Now you want it to be at a low boil if possible to thicken that sauce. So we're going to cook it uncovered, watch it closely, turn up the heat if need be, and we're going to let this boil for 2 to 3 minutes. That's all it's going to take to thicken that sauce. Once it starts to boil, you're going to notice the sauce thicken pretty quickly. Just let it cook for a few minutes and then remove it from the heat, and the sauce will continue to thicken as it sits. And that's it, friends. Okay, so after it's set for a little bit and thicken, it's ready to serve. Now, you can serve this 2 ways. You can just serve it as is. It's fun appetizer, snack, probably filling enough for a meal, and that's great. Or you could do it over rice, which is what I'm doing today, for a complete dinner. Now I'm using my spoon spatula again because I like extra sauce on my rice. How many meatballs do you guys eat in a serving? Let me know in the comments below. I'm like a 4, maybe a 5 if I'm real hungry. And these are the regular size ones. They're not the minis. If it's the mini, whew, it's going to be a lot. Okay. Get extra peppers for me, extra sauce on that rice, and it looks amazing. Now, if you want to elevate this meal up, which you know I do, I want to elevate it, we're going to dice up some green onions and put it on top as well. 2 green onions is probably enough for the whole dinner. I'm going to dice up a little bit. Anytime I dice green onions, I always get kind of the wilted end off. And then I just dice up the top until it starts to change into the whitish color. I like the flavor of the leafy end better. So that's when I stop cutting it. So for like this, it's going to be like in this area. Once you get down to here, it doesn't have a lot of flavor. So don't even worry about cutting that up. And this is great to leave on the side as well. So if you have people sensitive to onions, they don't have to put theirs on top. I just wanted to show you a close-up so you can see after the sauce has thickened more, it really coats the meatballs and the veggies and adds a lot of flavor. Moment of truth. Taste testing. Okay, I have to cut this up because if I try to eat a whole meatball on this live, you guys are going to be highly entertained. Okay, let's get a little sauce, a little meatball, a little rice. It's the sauce that makes it for me. I love the balance of the sweet and the spicy. It is so good. That's it, guys, friends. 25 minutes to make a meal that's better than takeout. I promise. And it's going to be healthier too. Don't forget, I have linked the recipe in the description below. And also, make sure that you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Most of you guys watching our videos are not subscribed to our channel. So, if you like today's recipe, make sure that you subscribe so you never miss one of our recipes. We are coming out with like 2 or 3 new recipes a week for you guys, and we don't want you to miss out. All right, it's dinner time. I got to get out of here. Bye, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today in my kitchen. I will see you next time. And until then, remember, eat at home by eating on a dime. Bye, friends.